this is the house in which the story of Mary Ware Dennett begins. At least that is my part of the story. So this is how it began, at least my part of the story of Mary Ware Dennett. Here we are in the upper attic of her son's home, Carl Dennett, in Alstead, New Hampshire. And this is the kind of stuff that we were dealing with. Look at these trunks. If you can see, there's trunks that are under shoe boxes and really, really old suitcases piled on top of another trunk. There's just all kinds of junk up here. But inside of these trunks and many, many others were all of her letters and papers, her artwork, her private journals. It spans an entire lifetime, from when she was about 6 years old and moved with her family to San Antonio, Texas, all the way up until probably about a year before she died. It's a remarkable collection, and this house, it's still yielding up documents. There are still things that I have no idea, for instance, what's in these particular trunks. So here's an excerpt of a letter that she wrote in February of 1928 to a friend. And by this time, she has officially retired from her work with the Voluntary Parenthood League and returned to her artwork. So she says, I assure you I am on the road to heaven. It is such a joy after years and years of wrestling with obdurate humans, trying to persuade them into thought or action which they were not ready for, to deal with such a reasonably amenable material as leather. It is balm to my soul. And someday, as soon as I can make it practicable, I shall devote all my time to it. Already I have begun to exhibit somewhat once more, so I lead a double life. One part of me promotes birth control work, and the other part does my own beloved work and purrs the while. I'm so glad you wrote Do It Some More. Your friend, Mary Ware Dennett. So just to give you an example, this is just one piece of furniture in one room. Check this out. You see, look, the whole thing is filled with papers and more papers and books and journals. So here's one more example. This is the kind of trunk in every single room of this house, again, filled with letters and papers and photographs and artwork and journals. Take a look at these bags. These are just grocery bags. And look inside. Look at those letters, just kind of crammed in there. This is a trunk of Mary's that contains remnants of her artwork. There are things in here such as pigments that she used for making the paints for her leather work. There are art books that she used in college and lots of glass plate negatives.